Hey everyone, factoring into today's video, we're going to have a look at when it's 8 to 10 days in today's video. This will take us to around the 20th of March, so going on into the second half of the month. We get some easterly winds coming up at the weekend. They'll be chilly and they may produce some wintry showers in the east at the start of next week, but quite how long they last, not sure. I think might cut them off quite quickly and get the winds back in from the Atlantic. But there's a little bit of uncertainty about next week's weather. We'll have a look at the charts in a moment. But before going back, just about the apps, there's links to articles on most pages at gasworthers.com. Have a browse through the widgets, any articles that you're interested in. Please click through. You'll be able to go to websites where those articles are and read them. And by doing that, you're helping to support gasworthers.com. It really pays website allows me to sit here and talk to you via Gasworthers. So thanks very much for getting involved. Thanks for doing that. Talking of Gasworthers, it was the third birthday of gasworthers.com on Sunday, 3 years since we started the website. So to celebrate, we've teamed up with MetCheck.co.uk weather instrumentation to give away this lovely handheld climate wind meter. It records the strength of the wind and also tells you the wind chill as well. So it's a fantastic device. It's worth £32.50. And if you want the chance of winning this, all you have to do is send your name and address to gasworthers@gmail.com. That's all you have to do. You don't have to answer a question or do anything difficult at all. Just send your name and address to gasworthers@gmail.com. You go into the prize draw, and then on Sunday evening we'll be putting one name out at random, and whoever comes out at random will win that prize. If you want to see the terms and conditions about all of this, go to gasworthers.com/competitions.php, and there you'll be able to see all the terms and conditions. But you've got to be in it to win it. So if you want the chance of winning this device, just email your name and address to gasworthers@gmail.com, and you could be pulled out of the hat or the bag on Sunday evening. Right, let's get on with the video. I'm going to start off with 500 millibar high anomalies for the next 8 to 10 days. Time. We've got the ECMWF on the left, the GFS is over on the right, 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure, low pressure are being moved around by a jet stream running above. Now it looks like I'm going to get a bit of a trough coming back into the north and east of the United States during the next 8 to 10 days. It's a bit warmer there now, actually. The cold is moderating and temperatures have gone a little bit milder, but I think as we go through into the second half of March, we may pull down another cold shot into the north and the east of the states. So both the ECM and the GFS agreeing on that. And then the jet stream comes out into the Atlantic and sort of hits this wall of high pressure that's sitting up to the northeast of the country. These red colours here indicate a big area of above average heights high pressure sitting to the northeast, the jet stream hitting that and sort of splitting with some of it going up there and some of it diving southwards and forming a bit of a cut-off down to the south. Now, there's a little bit of a disagreement between these two models, and it's quite important. The ECMWF wants to extend this ridge over towards Greenland, just here, like that, have a big ridge pushing out of Scandinavia and sending it towards Greenland. The consequence of that is that we could start to pull down some much colder air from the Arctic, actually, from the North Pole, if that came off. The GFS doesn't see that. It just runs the jet stream to the north and doesn't sort of push this ridging over into this area just here. So the GFS probably makes more sense really with the position of the jet stream, but we did see hints yesterday of a little bit of retrogression, just the idea, but may get a bit of a high pressure over Greenland. If that happens, it isn't too late to get some significantly cold weather, so I've got to keep an eye on it, but I'm not sure that the ECM is quite right with that blocking over the North Pole. The GFS temperature and precipitation ensemble show that we're going to be in for a cooler spell coming up. The red line here is the 30-year average. Going to be a bit above average for the rest of this week. But let's get into the weekend and start of next week. It looks like it's going to turn really quite cool indeed. But you'll see that it doesn't take too long before the ensemble will start to recover and go back towards the red line. Actually, as we get to, say, the second half of the month. So I'm not sure it's going to last all that long, these cool easterly winds. But for a few days, it will get quite chilly. There could be some wintry showers. Notice not a great deal of precipitation, really. A little bit coming up this week, not a great deal, until we get to the end of the chart. And then the spikes come back with quite a bit of conviction. But that's a long way off. Overall, a relatively dry period coming up. But there will be bands of rain coming through. This is the temperature anomaly for America for the coming week, the 10th to the 18th of March. And as I say, it's gone generally quite a little bit above average there. Certainly significantly above average in central and western parts. In the east, where it has been very cold, the temperatures lifted up to around or just slightly above average. Certainly warmer than it has been. But I think as we get beyond the middle of the month, we'll probably bring another cold shot through. So expect these colours to go blue again over the next few updates. For us, we're going a little bit cooler than average. The temp to the 18th of March shows that we're in most blue colours there, as is most of Western Europe. So, yeah, despite the fact that it's relatively mild at the moment, even so, we're going a bit cooler than average. As we go through the next few days with these, they may turn a bit cooler than this, actually. It may turn quite significantly blue there, just a few days on these charts. The precipitation anomaly shows that we're coming out generally a little bit drier than average, so a relatively dry period coming through. So here we go with the generic charts. Here's the GFS for Sunday, bringing in that easterly wind. That will be cool. It will be enough, I think, to produce wintry showers in the east. Certainly enough to produce night frost where the skies are clear. I think we're probably going to drag in a lot of cloud with this, so frost may not be too much of an issue. But if skies do clear at night, I think it'll be cold enough for frost at the end of the weekend and the start of next week. This black line here and these green colours just indicate a bit of a disturbance probably coming out of the continent on Monday. So Monday may be the greatest risk, at least, no more than that, of bringing some wintry showers in from the east, particularly across England and Wales. As we go through to a week away, Tuesday the 17th, relatively low pressure, sending quite a coolish flow, so could be wintry showers again into Tuesday. Then it all gets quite complicated, but what happens in the end is that by day 10, Friday the 20th of March, we're sort of setting up high pressure over the top of the country, still with a nagging easterly in the south, so still relatively chilly down there, but overall settling down through next week over that area of high pressure, probably an increasing risk of frost coming through. The East MBF has that easterly coming through on Sunday, and as we go through into Monday again, there's that little disturbance in the flow probably coming in off the continent. So Monday, the greatest risk of something wintry coming in from the east, but we won't know until closer to the time whether that actually comes off. Then pressure goes quite weak as we go through to Tuesday, but an Atlantic flow returns on Wednesday the 18th, so a little bit different to the GFS. The ECM temporarily brings back an Atlantic flow and warms it up through the middle of next week. And then to get through to the end of next week, Friday the 20th of March, day 10, there's just those hints of the high pressure setting up over Greenland. We saw that on the height anomaly chart, some blocking beginning to get going over Greenland. If that did come off, what would happen is that this area of low pressure here would move that way down into central parts of Europe, and as it did so, it would pull the winds into the north, and that would be a proper Arctic shock coming through from the north. That would be enough to produce significantly cold weather and some snow probably for the final 10 days, week to 10 days of March. Now, as I said when we were talking about the height anomalies, I'm not sure about that evolution. I would suggest that the GFS is probably more sensible to that. But got to keep an eye on it. We've got this high pressure over Scandinavia, and it could be the start, at least, of going into a colder period. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I would think that the GFS is more likely, which that will start off next week with that chilly easy wind, bringing in a risk of wintry showers, and then after that, probably just sort of settling the high pressure down over top of the country. Maybe sort of a nagging easterly in the south, but otherwise not too bad, really. Frost at night, but relatively fine by day. But you've got the idea from the GFS of the ECM that there is quite a lot of uncertainty about what happens once this easterly gets in at weekend and the start of next week. So more runs needed. We'll be keeping an eye on it as ever. But that's all for now. 5-day forecast tomorrow, so come back then. Don't forget to enter the competition if you want to win that handheld with me. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.